Please welcome our next speaker, Tanique Williams, a learning consultant. Today, she will be presenting Power Platform from a beginner's perspective. Please stick around after Tanique's session for a live Q&A.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to my session at DynamicsCon, and thank you for voting for my session as well. So during this presentation, I'll just be taking you through my journey, the Power Platform, and where it all started for me. So let's get into the presentation so you can find out who I am and we can get some learning on. I am Tanique Williams. I am currently a finance and operation consultant working at Powerapps. I participate in and consult and finance and operation, and as of recently, the Power Platform. Okay, I'm originally from the beautiful island of Jamaica, and believe it or not, I've got a black belt in kickboxing. Okay, my passion and one of my hugest passion is to drive one of those huge lorries, those big trucks. Yeah, that's one of my passion, and I'm working on it. So hopefully after COVID, that can happen. So that's just a little bit about me. So let's get into my topic, Power Platform from a beginner's perspective. So this topic, as I mentioned in my intro, I'm fairly new to the Power Platform, and today I'm just going to give you an idea of my journey and how I've seen the magic of the Power Platform formulate and aid with other applications within Microsoft ecosystem. Okay, so let's take a look at my agenda and what we'll be talking about today. So I'll be going into how it all started and just touching on the brief history of the Power Platform, and I'll give you a quick overview of the Power Platform along with its components, and then I'll walk you through how to get a trial set up for your environment to continue learning, and then I'll post some nice resources for you that that has helped me on my journey, and I'm sure will help you as well. Okay, so let's get into it. And we are going to be looking on the Power Platform and just a brief history on how it started. Okay, so this is just a high level. I'm sure there's much finer details, but this is just a high level, so I don't want to bore you too much. So how it all started. The concept of the Power Platform was birthed around 2007. So this was birthed using Dynamics CRM as a line of business development platform, and AKA XRM. Right? Or anything relationship management. So with this platform, what Microsoft had developed, you'll be able to do some of the following features. You'll be able to easily create rational data entity models or extend these models that Microsoft made available to you. You'll be able to build a multi-user web-based system, and it also had its own built-in security and authentication mechanism. You were able to easily configure automation using workflows, and it also had its own reporting capabilities. And the platform itself, which is XRM, definitely served its theme, one platform, many applications. But as Microsoft is ever-changing, and like a kid collecting baseball cards, Microsoft seemed to acquire a collection of ERP applications. These collections include Great Plains, Navision, Axapta, for example, and Solomon. And that birthed the Dynamics 365 solution, so which included CRM or the XRM system as previously shown, coupled with this ERP system, but namely Navision and Axapta, because those were more cloud focused. But from a technical perspective, there were some attempts to link them all together using an ad hoc integration method that they still, at the moment, are individual applications, but more or less under one common name. So later on in the presentation, I'm going to take you to the magic of the Power Platform and how it is utilized and help some finance and operation projects that I've worked on myself. So let's get into the Power Platform and how a few of the components come about. So Microsoft had a vision to build a low-code, no-code tool to allow non-developers like yourself and me, because I'm not a developer, I don't know C#, but the Power Platform suits my skill set very well, okay? So in 2015, at their Ignite conference, Microsoft introduced Project Sienna to the public. And Sienna's unique approach makes that building possible with tools of Excel and PowerPoint skill set, and requires no code or expertise. And this in turn became Powerapps as we know it. Microsoft had Logic apps, but again, that wasn't, citizen developer friendly. So on top of the Logic apps, they built Microsoft Flow. And also Business Intelligence was a tool that was a add-on for SQL Server. And I believe the project was called Project Crescent. And Chatbot, as we know it, runs on the Azure Bot framework. So with all of that coupled together, Microsoft created the wonderful world of the Power Platform. Okay, so let's look at it. What is the Power Platform as we know it? And I always laugh when I see this picture because working from home, my children always ask, Mom, what is the Power Platform? I'm forever talking about it. I'm forever teaching about it. Okay, so I'll explain to them. The Power Platform is Microsoft's superhero business application development platform. It's a powerful low-code platform allowing users to design and use custom business applications across various devices. The Power Platform includes 4 main components. These are Power BI, which is an analytical tool, which can be used for operational reports in finance and operation, for example. We've got Powerapps, and this is basically help you to simplify data, create a canvas or model-driven apps, and then these can be embedded wherever. For example, finance operation, you can embed it, on your mobile or even on the web. We've got Power Automate, and Power Automate is a workflow tool which utilizes over hundreds of connectors, not thousands as yet, but I'm sure Microsoft is on its way to 1,000 because every day, like a new connector is within Power Automate. We've got Power Virtual Agents, or PVA, and these are chatbots. And we see these are used for like support tasks or even on your customer service websites, even to help with training, for example, internal or external. Okay. And to make all of this possible, we've got underlying solution on the Power Platform, like the data connectors, AI Builder, and the amazing Microsoft Dataverse. So Dataverse, as we know it, is a scalable data service, which lets users securely store and manage data from multiple sources, and in turn integrate this data into your business applications. Now, I'm going to go through some more of the amazing magic of the Power, and we'll be looking at how the Power Platform here is coupled with finance and operations. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, the Microsoft Dataverse. And I like to think Dataverse is the heart of the Power Platform. And when you start with the Dataverse, everything just tends to fall into place with regards to the Microsoft ecosystem. So what other magic does the Power Platform bring to the table? So we've got stuff like virtual entities. And virtual entities expose all of your public data and all of your FinOps data into Dataverse. So there are a number of ways that you can use virtual entities. And one of these are, for example, if you are having your CE users, they might leverage virtual entities by viewing credit information for a customer, for example. So instead of syncing data over Dataverse, we can create and extend customer service apps, for example, to include additional information about accounts, such as credit limits, or I've seen in the housing industry here in the UK, done in letters. So these help with like counter tax and stuff like that. So within a finance and operations space, we utilize data lake, and this is like within AI and analytics scenario, for example. We can use data lake and embed these into application like finance operations via the Power BI technology to provide a rich, interactive visual for our users. Okay, so now we're going to take a deep dive into the individual components on the Power Platform and how we can utilize them. So the first one we'll be looking at is Power Automate. And what is it? Okay, Power Automate is a SaaS service that helps you work smarter by automating workflow across your growing number of apps, through the business services that you use and your business users rely on. Some of the common scenarios, sorry, got a bit tongue twisted there, that we've used the Power Automate capabilities. For example, we've used it for automation of repetitive tasks, like moving data from one system to the next. And as recently, about a week ago, I've created a SharePoint list and moved data from that SharePoint list to another tenant. Okay. We use business process flow to guide users through a process so they can complete a task more efficiently via stages and steps. We've got automated desktop processes, which utilizes robotic process automation. And with Power Automate, as its name states, you can send approval requests or manage these on the web or on your mobile. So some of the other offerings of the Power Automate tool on the Power Platform is automation at a scale. You can efficiently scale automation to or across your organization, allowing everyone in your organization to automate workflows using their favorite on-premise or cloud-based apps. And as a slide's showing you there, we've got secure integration. Okay, so what this looks like. Power Automate securely integrate automation at every level of your organization. So which can see users confidently build and execute automated workflows in a secure and compliant manner. We've got accelerated productivity. So, you won't have your users doing repetitive tasks so they can focus on, higher value work. And with the Power Automate tool, we've got intelligent automation. And this again will increase efficiency through automated workflows and also via the use of advanced Azure AI services. But within Power Automate, we've also got these amazing things called connectors. And connectors are the building blocks of Power Automate or any workflow service within a Microsoft ecosystem. So they're what enable you to interact with data across various services like SharePoint, Teams, Twitter, and more. At its core, a connector is just a wrapper around an API. So all of the Office apps and modern applications have APIs that you can call to retrieve and post data to via that application via Power Automate. So connectors in Power Automate provide this wrapper around those APIs. So as you can see on screen, it's more user-friendly and you want to engage with it more. Okay, so what other things are available in the Power Automate tool? So there are different types of flows that we can utilize in Power Automate. And these are cloud flows, desktop flows, and business process flows. Okay, so desktop flows are typically used for legacy application where AI support is not available. And a business process flow provides a guide for people to get work done easily and consistently. With our cloud flows, there are 3 consistent flows at the moment that are called cloud flows. But who knows, with Microsoft, these probably change within the next year. Okay, so these flows are automated flow, instant, and schedule. An automated flow will run when an item gets added to a SharePoint list, for example. An instant flow would be utilized at the top of a button. So this could be, say, on your mobile, Bluetooth, or even clicking the submit button and on a Microsoft form. Schedule flows, you set them to run at a frequency that's suited to you. They could be run hourly, every minute, every second. Okay. And a perfect example is this: if you want to send your timesheet, for example, every Friday to your project manager. So to utilize these flows, you must have a trigger and an action attached to each of these flows. And a trigger is basically an event that starts your flow. So this could be you selecting that item within that SharePoint list, or creating an item, or seeing an email attachment hitting your inbox. That could be a trigger for the flow. And an action is basically what do the Power Automate tool do with that email. Does it move it to your OneDrive to store? Does it move it to your SharePoint? Okay, so that's basically an idea of what Power Automate is capable of doing and some of its components. So now we are going to be looking at another tool, which is Powerapps. Okay. And Powerapps is a data platform that provides rapid application development for a citizen developer like you and I. The whole idea of the Power Platform is to enable normal Joe blogs, like me and you, who know nothing about coding, enable us to create these amazing apps, workflows, dashboard within Power BI and get us started. Okay. So with Power Apps, you can quickly build custom business apps that connect to your business data stored in either the underlying Power Platform Dataverse or in various online or on-premise data source, such as SharePoint, Excel, or Office 365, just to name a few. Okay, so when creating a Canvas app, for example, there are 3 ways that you can start to configure an app. We can start from blank, where you'd build your apps from the ground up, and all the pieces as you go will fall into place. But a tip, bear in mind when, for example, if you're using an Excel worksheet, it must be in a table format before it can be utilized within the Power Apps platform. I don't know, it just doesn't like, a standard worksheet. So you can create an app from a template by using the sample data that's readily available to you, or you can start your app with your own data by pointing your Canvas app to a designated data source. And this will see a 3-screen app consisting of a browse screen, detail screen, and edit screen be created for you. So a quick scenario and how we can utilize Power Apps. I'm going to take you through a business requirement. It's quite straightforward and simple, and this will show you how are the possibilities of the Power Platform and how we can utilize the components. So imagine an organization, as it says on screen, where every 3 years, the employee goes through a hardware refresh cycle. The organization obviously would like you to customize an app that runs on the web, on your mobile, and also help to streamline the device order processing. So what that would look like, we would build the app within Canvas app and obviously store our data within the Dataverse. And to streamline the back office process so the procurement team can get our data on time and follow a specific process, we'd use a model-driven app. And on top of that, we'll also utilize a business process flow. And say, for example, if the order that we've placed is over now £1,000 or $1,000 US, we would trigger an automated workflow, send an email to your manager and say, okay, you know what, Tanique is making an order of over £1,000. We need your approval. And that's just one simple requirement that, we can use and utilize the components of the Power Platform. So some of the benefits of the Power Platform, as you can see, we use of higher productivity. And this basically may see your citizen developers or your users, being enabled or envisioning to create more application to cover their needs. Instead of depending on developers, who knows Visual Studio or C#, as I said. Within the Power Platform, you've got guaranteed security, and you have total control of the application and within the administration center. So the end result of the app would look something like this, because remember, one of the requirements is to leverage it on your desktop or your laptop and also on your mobile. So this takes us into our next slide, which is the amazing Power BI. Power BI is an analytics tool which can be used for operation reports. For example, I've seen this used in the finance and operation application, for example. And it utilizes the software services, the apps, the connectors that works together on the Power Platform to turn your unrelated source of data into visual, immersive, and interactive insight by way of the amazing dashboards that are available on the Power BI platform. So whether your data is a simple Microsoft Excel workbook or a collection of cloud-based and on-premise hybrid data warehouse, Power BI lets you easily connect to your data source via a clean and, user-friendly way where you can model your data without affecting the underlying source. And what's important is that you can share this data or your workspace with every and anyone within your organization. And as mentioned at the top of this project with regards to finance and operation and how the Power BI can marry and aid embedded tools or graphics within any application or within the Microsoft ecosystem, this is a perfect way and an example that I'm going to show you. So, for example, organizations who are a little behind on their transformation projects or midway through their digital transformation. Okay, we find that these organizations are, they're lagging, and sometimes a lot of data silos are within their technology. And sometimes we find that the information that or on-premise does not marry, with what's in the cloud during this transformation. Okay, the next issue that we found is the user experience with these SSRS reports that we'll be utilizing on-premise. Okay, sometimes these can be a bit outdated, and there's not enough control over the appearance of the parameters in these reports. So you may know someone, for example, in HR or the accounting team, who wants to see operational data that, right here and right now. But using the SSRS reports, which is the old report, okay, they would have to log into the SSRS portal, okay, search for that report, and then run it. And again, we live in a microwave society where we want everything at our fingertips, and Power BI is able to provide that to us. So by utilizing Power BI, you'll see an increase in user engagement. Power BI makes data more attractive to users, so they want to engage and use it more. It provides a greater accessibility, whereas it's able to take your legacy organization data and marry it with your new finance data without compromising the integrity of that data. So a customer will have consistent and accurate data in a timely and user-friendly manner, whilst maintaining its integrity. And that's very important, especially in Europe with GDPR. Okay. And with the Power Platform, as always, you can surface your data wherever it lives, if it's on your mobile, if it's on desktop, or it's on your laptop. And this sees us moving into our next component, which is the chatbot or Power Virtual Agent. Okay, Power Virtual Agents, what are they? So Power Virtual Agents or PVA or chatbots let you create powerful chatbots that can answer questions posed by customers, other employees, or visitors to your website or service. These chatbots can be created with a guided, no-code graphical interface within the environment and without the need for developers or data scientists. So individuals like you and myself can create these wonderful tools utilizing skill set that are readily available to us. What are some of the benefits of using PVA or the Power Virtual Agent? Okay, some of them are we eliminate the need for developers, and we can see subject matter experts utilizing their skill set and knowledge and know-how to build these bots. We reduce the time from when a bot is built with regards to it being broken and a developer has to come and fix it. We know how we've created this bot so we can fix it ourselves. And the code behind it is simple. As I said, you are utilizing, it's a drag and drop functionality. We all can type, we all can use Office. So yeah, we've got skill sets, as I said, that's readily available to us. Okay. And also we minimize the need for the effort for the IT team to come and try and maintain and deploy your bots. Okay. So if you work in any software department, ALM can be a pain. Access to the PVA can be via the web or within Teams. Most of the functionality between the two, they're the same. However, it's down to a business process and how you utilize it. So for example, if I'm in your organization and you want to speak to me within your team channel, then you'd use a team bot. But for example, if you want it on a wider scale for your organization, then you use the web or access it via the web for your organization to put on your website. Okay, and just to orient you around the environment or the screen within the environment of Power Virtual Agent, as you can see, we are on our home screen, and you can see we're able to author topics, publish, and you're also able to learn more, to get your bot experience on. within the environment of Power Virtual Agent, where we've got these things called topics. And the topics are the main point of where you'll be building out your bot. So within the topics section, there are predefined topics that you will be able to utilize and help you on your way. So a lot of the foundational work has already been done for you. As you can see on screen, some of them are system topics that you can utilize, like greetings, escalation, for example. You can end your conversation, or you can also pass your bot over to an agent. Okay. And as I said, you can also create your own topics. We're moving on to entities. And when I saw this for the first time, I got excited because entities are utilized within Microsoft Dataverse, but they're totally different here. Okay, so this entity has, in working with the text and extracting information for those text input that the user will, put into your bot. Okay, so this in turn allows the bot to identify commonly used text like age, color, email, and so on. So if I should say, for example, to a shopping website that I want a red dress, okay, the bot will be able to go off and using the standard entities within your PVA, pick that up and say, okay, you know what, I'm talking about the color red, and go and search for, that product and bring that back. Okay, users can also create custom entities. And on some occasions, for example, it's COVID, you want to start your own business, for example, you can train the bot to identify maybe a product catalog that you're putting together. So when a user comes to your site and type in, okay, you know what, I am looking for a barbecue grill, that will be there. And you can go ahead within the topics that you've created and find that for you or for your customer. Okay, so to get started and to configure your bot or your topics, we need some things called trigger phases. And here, as you can see, you can create your trigger phases as a starting point for your bot. And a lot of these trigger phases basically navigate your audience or yourself through different messages that you have created. Okay, so I might come and say, I need opening hours. That would be a trigger phase that the bot recognized and said, okay, I know what that is, and present that back to the user. You can test your bot on the canvas before publishing by switching and turning on switch between topics, or you can track between topics. And remember, as I mentioned at the top of the presentation, the Power Automate tool is one of the components on the Power Platform that we utilize throughout the Microsoft ecosystem, and we can utilize it here with Power Virtual Agent, okay, by adding an action to our bot. Okay, so when we go and click and add an action, the designer within Power Automate will open up and we'll just give it the input from what we've got with regards to our bot. Send off via a trigger, post a message, whether it's in Teams or email to your customer service team, and Bob's your uncle, everything's given from there. But with regards to the Power Platform and everything that I've mentioned to you, to gain a proper understanding and a better learning experience from, utilizing these tools, you have to create your own learning experience. And this is where I'm going to take you into a trial setup. Okay. So what does this look like? So to engage within the Power Platform, you need a trial setup. So in order to gain a better experience for your learning, I highly recommend that you set up your own office trial and get started. Okay, so now before you get started, I recommend that you put your browser in incognito so there are no cache passwords or anything like that. Okay, so you'll be taken to a screen like this where you input your details, and you can utilize here your personal details. And on screen, it says, okay, put your work or school. Just put your Google, Yahoo, or your Outlook email address here. Okay, and then this, you just follow the steps on screen to set you up. Okay, so remember, repetition is the mother of all learning. So to gain a better understanding of the wonderful Power Platform, you can utilize these resources, which I found to be very helpful. We've got YouTube. So for anything with regards to Powerapps, look up Shane Young and he'll get you started. He's got thousands of videos on YouTube. We've also got Lisa Crosby, and she'll get you started with Power Virtual Agents. And if you're interested in Power Automate, look up Matt Colin Jones or Jen Levesque. Amazing video tutorials. Power BI, I would suggest you look up Guy in the Cube. Two amazing guys that will get you on your learning journey with regards to Power BI. And we've also got the Microsoft Learning Resource, which is readily available for the Power Platform. Go to Google and just type in Power Automate, learn, and you'll be able to go to the screen to learn and get your knowledge on. We've also got a Power Wiki. So within the D365 user group, we've got different learning resource on the Power Wiki that you can utilize. And I strongly advise you try the In a Day resource. You've got App in a Day, Power Automate in a Day, just to name a few. And we've got an amazing community that you can reach out to, give a shout out to, for any help, on Twitter, LinkedIn. You can ask anyone any questions with regards to the Power Platform, and you'll find someone who will be willing to help you. There's also an amazing calendar available, which you can utilize and see the different user groups across the world that the amazing D365 user groups community has put together. And I thank you. It has been a wonderful session presenting to you. I ask that you drop me a chat, drop me questions within the chat so we can go back and forth and see, maybe you can teach me something, because as I said, the Power Platform is ever changing, ever evolving. It's a live platform. And so drop me some questions. Let's rock and roll. Thank you again for DynamicsCon for having me. And I look forward to seeing you in the live sessions for the chat. Cheers. Bye.
Hello everyone. Hi. So thank you for watching my session and everything. So how did you find that? Hope it was good. Hope it was great. Okay, so now drop me some questions. Let's rock and roll, as I said before. Yeah. Okay. One of the questions that I normally get with regards to people starting out their Power Platform journey is, where do I start? And my answer to that is always, whenever you go on the platform, start out with the templates. There you can dissect them. For example, within Power Automate, look at a template, for example, what you want it to do, and dissect it and even start from scratch. Within Powerapps, there are templates in there that you can utilize also, and get started that way. Okay, thank you, Vivian. So are there any questions that I can utilize? If I've got my amazing mom moderator in the chat, can assist you with anything as well, whilst I'm also here. Okay, what would your favorite Power Platform module be? I love Power Automate and Power Virtual Agent working together. And I just love utilizing the chatbot with regards to, it's easy to use. It's a graphical user interface. You don't need a Power Platform license. Oh my God, Power Platform license. With the question at the top of here, my favorite modules are Power Automate and also Power Virtual Agent. Easy to use, anybody can use it, and I've told a story earlier with regards to how you can utilize every component on the Power Platform. So here we say, okay, thank you, Jason. Great. Okay, with regards to the links for the resources, no problem. Ray, you can connect with me on LinkedIn and I can drop those to you, no issues at all. Okay, other question. How is a Power Platform license? Okay, so the Power Platform consists of, obviously, with each component that's got its license. So you can, if you've got your Office 365 license, obviously you can utilize Flow. And if you've got your D365 license, then obviously that's just another way you can utilize the Power Platform as well. And so each component, you can have a license for that. But license on the Power Platform is a huge and ever-changing aspect. So with regards to licensing, I tend to stay away from it because whilst it's ever changing, I tend to not want to give out incorrect information. So I always say, depends on what you want it for. It's best to just use like maybe get in contact with the Microsoft account personal. That was great, so thank you. Do you have some tips our beginners has? It's pretty hard for me to understand that I'm new to Microsoft World and I know only Power BI. Okay, so Adam, do you want just some advice with regards to basically where to start? As I said, if you're starting with Powerapps, it's just basically to utilize the templates that are there and pull them apart, see how they work. You can create, as mentioned in the session, you can utilize 3 ways within Powerapps that you can start from blank, from your own data and also from the templates. Okay, so use the templates within Powerapps or within Power Automate, and that's because obviously why you want to go and recreate the wheel. The templates are already there, so you utilize those for your user experience. There are tutorials on YouTube, and obviously there's Microsoft Learn as well that you can use. There's the app in a day content that Microsoft provides that you can utilize, and also the community helps with great content from beginner to intermediate to advanced levels. Can the resource link be dropped here for all to use? Yes, sure. Let me see if I can do that. Just bear with me a minute. So let's see. So again, for YouTube, obviously for your Power Automate, look up John Levesque, Matt Collins Jones. So just type those names in YouTube and you'll be on your way. Yeah, there you go. Joel is also great with Power BI as well. And sorry, questions are coming quick and fast. So Beth, with regards to the links, again, if you send me a connection on LinkedIn, I can happily point you in the right direction. What is the best way to assess the scope and effort to migrate C# .NET application to Powerapps? Is that an easy question to answer? Okay, so Bob, with that question, I don't think that's an easy question. But what I can tell you about the Power Platform and for pro developers, with regards to my efforts to migration from hard coded tools like .NET and C#, I don't know, but that's something I can actually look at and possibly get back to you. But the Power Platform has got tools, and you can extend the app, the Power Automate, Power BI, even the Power Virtual Agent. We find that pro developers extend these to suit their needs or create custom APIs, for example, custom connectors to utilize and extend for organization business needs. What would be the best place to start with PVA? Okay, so with regards to PVA, the best place to start, as I said, there's Lisa Crosby. She has got a simplified tutorial on YouTube that you can use and have access to. She has broken down everything simply for you with regards to Power Virtual Agent, what it does and how to basically use it. Any help would be great. Okay, yes, I'll definitely look at that for you, Bob. And there's loads of help within the community that we've got access to. And yeah, Gynacube, yeah, yeah. Thank you for dropping that in the chat. Thank you, appreciate that, Pam. So yeah, are there any questions? And as I said, I told a great story with regards to how everyone can utilize the Power Platform, from my 5-year-old to my 14-year-old. The Power Platform is easy and it's really amazing with regards to what you can do with it and how to basically, show it to your customers, or even with regards to within your organization to get everybody using it. At the moment, there are, as I say, I think Gartner did a research where obviously 65% of organizations are moving to low code development now, because at the moment in time that there's just so much going on with data at the moment and app development and users need app that IT development is just not able to. Thank you for dropping those links, Trisha. Thank you, Pam. Thank you for dropping that link for Power BI. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, Joel, thank you. Okay, thank you very much for answering that question. Yes, so as I was saying, with the constant changing of the Power Platform, yeah, Gartner's done a survey where it shows that 65% of organizations will be moving to the local platform, and this is where Power Platform is going to come in, because the IT departments aren't able to keep up or abreast with the ever-changing technology that is in the world. Any more questions that we've got? No? Okay. Can't see any more questions. But thank you for joining my session. Please reach out to me on LinkedIn. If you have any questions for the links, most of them have been dropped in the chat. And, you know, join the community. If you're in America, if you're in the UK, wherever you are, there is a D365 user group that you're able to be a part of. So join the community and, you know, get your learning on. And also within each of the environment, there's a Learn tab that you can utilize. So click on the Learn tab and just get started with your learning journey. So for example, as you know, I've done a project the other day where we're moving SharePoint designer workflows over to Power Automate. And, you know, as it's something new, a lot of the users were like, oh, we don't know about Power Automate, we don't know how to use it. And I started off these guys slowly, and with regards to some of the labs and stuff that I've created for them, and it's quite easy to use and utilize. Are there specific connectors that are easier to work with than others? Jessica, I think all the connectors, as I mentioned, SharePoint's one, OneDrive, you know, those connectors, they're all good to utilize. So obviously with premium connectors within the Power Platform, you know, they may be a bit more different because there's third parties, for example, or you got to pay a bit more for those. But with regards to my favorite connector, I'll probably say SharePoint for now because I've just recently done a project on that. But yeah, SharePoint connector is quite easy to utilize. So apologies about that, sorry. Okay, are there any more questions that I can assist with or help anyone with? If not, okay. All right, then thanks, no problem. Okay, so thanks for having me and thanks for the amazing questions. And yes, Rachel, thank you. Shout me into LinkedIn or Twitter, you know, and let's connect. So thank you. I'll see you on the other side. Crack on.